Mikey, now good kick. You got to kick hard off the wall. Ready? Swimmers on your mark. Go! The doctors told us that Michael would never talk. He would never be able to change his own pants, that he would never be self-sufficient. And I think it just took trial and error for me and my wife not giving up, saying that he would do more. We said we're not going to give up on him. He can do something. We just have to spend time with him.
That is an excerpt from a film originally that aired on PBS as part of POV. It is powerful stuff. That is called Swim Team, and Lara Stolman is director-producer of Swim Team, and Mike McQuay is coach of Jersey Hammerhead Swim Team. Thank you both for joining us. Set this up for us. The film, made when?
So we filmed in 2014 for over a year, and it's chronicling a season in the life of a competitive swim team made up of diverse teens on the autism spectrum, all from New Jersey, Middlesex County.
How did you find them?
So I was actually looking for swimming lessons for my own child. I have a child with autism, and it's not easy to find any kind of extracurricular activity for your child when your child is different. And I heard about Coach Mike and his wife Maria, and I went to visit them at their local YMCA in Perth Amboy, and I saw their son Mikey swim, and I was just so inspired by what they had done with him.
Mike, again, both of you have a personal, very powerful connection to this film and to the subject we're talking about. Right. What do they tell you about your boy?
Just accept what he can do. He can't. He's going to be probably institutionalized. Probably.
When did they tell you that? At what age?
When he was almost 4 years old.
Go ahead.
It took us almost a year and a half to get him diagnosed. The waiting list was so long. Never be able to change his pants, never talk, brush his teeth, never be self-sufficient, and just, you know, he's autistic, and go from there.
What did you think?
I cried. I cried. My wife cried, and we said, we can do more. Let's not give up on our child.
How'd you know? How did you know that he could do more, that you could do more?
I just believed in it. I just believed that these kids, you've always heard about kids can do more than what expectations are. And society always puts low expectations on our kids. And if you let society keep putting low expectations on our kids, it'll always be low. And we weren't going to be those parents, whether if it did happen or didn't happen. Michael connected with swimming. A lot of kids connect with art, music, drawing.
Something.
Something.
How old is he now?
Michael's 21 years old right now.
How's he doing?
He's working at the Turtleback Zoo right now, 4 days a week.
But I love that zoo. It's a great zoo.
Loves it. Absolutely loves it.
So, in the film, and I want to disclose, I've seen excerpts. I've not seen the entire film. And by the way, people can catch it online at PBS.
Yes.
Right. So let me do this. Part of the film, I do know, chronicles, tries to make real the challenges facing not just those dealing with autism or on the spectrum, but caregivers, family members. Why?
Because it's our story too, and there's such an intimate relationship between caregivers and individuals with autism that starts at a very early age and can last throughout the lifetime, our lifetimes, the lifetimes of the individuals as well as the caregivers.
What's it been like for you?
So it's a struggle, certainly, day to day. And that's one of the reasons why the film was so important to me to make, because these people are all about high expectations and positivity, and as difficult as it can be. And
I mean, Mike and his team.
Yes. And
what do they expect?
It's difficult every day. There's a low expectations culture that I think you live in when your child is different and has a disability, and it's very hard to go on unless you think in terms of what's possible and you're positive. And that's what the film is about. It's about the importance of coming together with other families and meeting other people who are going through what you're going through, and having a common enterprise and being positive and having high expectations for your children.
It's inspirational, isn't it?
I hope so, yes.
Well, Mike, let me ask you this. I'm curious, as concisely as possible. The biggest I mean, you've coached, you're an athlete, sports, athletics part of your life. What is the biggest misconception in your view of those who are on the autism spectrum and what they're capable of or not? Biggest misconception?
The parents don't believe they can do it. Parents don't believe they can do it. Everybody's looking for something simple. I want these kids to be part of a real team. Let them pull them in and let them know they're family.
What's the difference between a quote-unquote real team and dealing with children on the spectrum differently? What's the difference?
Well, the socialization, going out to parties, hanging out. My kids never really have done that. They never really been part of that, being invited to a birthday party, a spend the night party. We try to invite these kids to everything we do and let them know they're all together as a team, whether they win or lose. You know, and it's still about, it's not just to give them participation medal and say, here you go. I want these kids to believe that they can be the best. And I want these other kids to know that when you compete against my kids, you're competing against kids that can beat you. It's like Robbie right now, Michael, some other kids on my team right now. They're competing against kids, like my son likes to say, the so-called normal kids. And
that's what he calls them?
That's what he calls them. And beating them at their own game.
What's it like?
It's tremendous. It's a great feeling.
You see a smile on that kid's face. That kid knows that he or she.
I see in the parents.
It's mostly boys, actually,
mostly boys, okay.
because boys are,
Right.
there are more boys with autism than girls.
Right. It's a big ratio.
Biggest thing you see in the kids, but then slash the parents. What do you see?
The camaraderie between both. I mean, that's what I was just when I was just thinking about the fact that our kids generally don't have friends.
Right. They do not.
No, in part because a lot of them don't care about friendships, but it's also because they're unfortunately ostracized from a very early age, and they don't have the same opportunities to form friendships and to practice social skills. The great thing about the team and being on a sports team in general is that you have to interact with other kids.
It's so funny you mentioned it. Do you mind if we run another clip from swim team? You talked about camaraderie. This is a clip all about camaraderie.
All right, boys, listen up. We want to make Mike. We want him proud. So you have to do as fast as you can. Mike, he doing back, and him doing abreast. For me, I'll do fly, and the last is freestyle. So guys, give the best that you got.
Okay.
Who's with me? Hammer hands.
Hammer hands.
Woo!
And they all became good friends. I mean, they started understanding what friendship was, being together. I mean, if you see the film, they get disqualified in one of the races, and they're like, why? You know, and then they brought it all back together, and they put it back together. Who's got to do what?
They had to deal with that disappointment
together. They had to
together.
deal with disappointment to deal with it. Why do we get disqualified? And then they understood, and then the final big race at the end, they all knew what they had to do, and they all put it together.
So, and you have these kids on the swim team from what ages?
Gosh, right now, it's from 8 until 24, 25.
I hate to ask this, but I want to. After 24, 25, what are the prospects and how are their prospects different because of this experience? I know every kid is different.
Every kid is different. I think with Robbie is one of the best swimmers on the team.
Your guy?
No, another guy. That's Robbie was there. My son
Robbie, okay, right.
was talking just now. I think it gave him confidence. It gave him leadership because he was the leader of the team, and it brought that out. Then he ended up being the leader of his high school team, captain of his high school team.
Really?
Absolutely. And giving him that confidence that he could do that.
So many of these kids,
Right.
unfortunately, after high school end up dependent, living with their parents.
Mom and Dad,
yeah, and the unemployment rate for adults with autism is so high. It's higher than adults with other disabilities. It's, the figure I've seen is over 80%. And so it's bleak, when you were asked about what the future is, it's bleak, unfortunately. And, that's the thing that we'd like to see change because these children, these individuals have so much to contribute.
You were motivated. You were motivated, inspired by this. I could tell. First question for you. What's the most significant message that you would want people who see the film, Swim Team, to take away from it? The most powerful, significant message, what is it?
That individuals with autism and developmental disabilities have skills, and they may not be Rain Men. I think there's a big misconception out there that everybody with autism is an idiot savant. But that's not the case. That's rare. And so many people with autism, they may not have extraordinary talents, but they have skills and capabilities. And we just, we need to embrace them more and be more inclusive.
We've both done a great public service. We encourage people to go on online at PBS, our partners at PBS, and you can check out Swim Team, find it there. Originally aired on POV. What a great series that is, right? Last thing you want to say to folks? I want to give you another chance. Last thing you want to say?
Give our kids a chance. I mean, our kids are not there to clean toilets. They want to be part of society. They need you guys to give them an opportunity to be in society. Don't put them on the back burner. All our kids matter. I mean, it's an old cliche. We said it 1,000 times. They do matter. Put them out in the forefront. They can do things. Just give them the opportunity.
That's what you guys did. Mike, Lara, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Well done.
Thank you.
We'll be right back right after this. Thank you so much.